Hi everyone, this is Carlos with the Lease team right here at Keller Williams. I am so excited. I just came out of our annual family reunion at Keller Williams, and for those who doesn't know what that is Gary Keller, the founder of Keller Williams International, every year gets everybody together and puts out a tremendous amount of data that affects you and me as far as the house value, the house home equity, and how is COVID affecting all of this. So I want to dive in very quickly. This is something you want to hear because it will affect your home equity, home value, and all of that. So it's a bunch of data, so I'm going to try to be as quick as possible and trying to explain it as much as I can in plain English. So here we go. And we're going to be showing some charts, and I'm going to explain them as we go. This one is annual unemployment. As you can see in the chart, due to COVID, we are at 8.1% unemployment rate. And as you can see, this is not normal. It happened on the same happened at 1975, in 1982, 2010. Also, I don't know if you all remember that bubble in the market. The same happened. At that time we were at 9.6%. Right now we are at 8.1%. So it has happened in history that we know, maybe 4 times, and this is one of them because of COVID. So that's something to keep in mind and track. The next slide, this one is unemployment and income by sector. And I want to point out here that the 3 most sectors that were affected so far by unemployment is the transportation and warehousing, the retail trade, and leisure and hospitality. If you see the first one, transportation and warehousing, right now is at 13% unemployment rate, meaning a lot of people lost their job in that trade, which is transportation and warehousing. In the retail trade, they're at 8.8%, as you can see on the chart right here. And then the leisure and hospitality with the highest at 21.3%. That means nobody's traveling, of course, so they're the ones that got most affected by that. With GDP, and for those that don't know what GDP is, you hear it a lot of time in the news and all of that, is gross domestic products, and in plain English is, in other words, is how much people are spending in our country, how much money is being spent on the cash flow of the country, pretty much. And as you can see on this graph, for COVID on 2020 quarter number 2, we had a decline of 31.4. And then we recovered that on 2020 quarter 3. So pretty much COVID came, people stopped buying, spending money on pretty much everything except, toilet paper and other things. But everything else, people stopped buying things, and then it recovered back up at 33.1%. Right after the COVID, people start getting used to they start opening businesses and so forth. Where we want to be, the GDP is around 3 to 4%, and it's back down now to 2.4, so that's not too bad at all. In this other graph, you can see the annual GDP for United States, and by the way, this is all nationwide. It's not just Orlando or Florida. All these numbers are nationwide. As you can see, in 2009, we had a decline, at a minus 2.8%, and for COVID in 2020 was a decline of 3.5%. So you can see as major things happen, the GDP gets affected. Good thing that we're back to 2.3, 2.4, so that's where we wanted to be at. So in that aspect, we're doing pretty well as a nation. The next one is unemployment and housing by age. Unemployment highest by age, it was for the 24-year-old citizens or younger. So pretty much anybody 24 or younger, they were out of jobs. When they talk about that, they said it's because these are lower income maybe jobs, and those were the most affected. So the people also at 25 through 34 years old were at 6.8 unemployment rate. The ones over 35 years and older at 5.3. The 24 and younger, they're at 9.7. So again, they're with the highest. I'm gonna try to move quickly through this. So the next one is inventory, annual inventory. We always want to maintain 6 months inventory in real estate, residential, meaning that we'll have a nationwide, enough homes in inventory to be able to sell within 6 months. Right now, if you see this chart, you can tell that it's starting on the bubble 2009, 2010, 2011. You see that we were at above 6 months of inventory. And then it started declining 2012, and it keeps declining. Now 2020, we are at 3.1 months of inventory. And if you follow me and Limaris on our weekly shows of the market update for Lake Nona area, we keep telling you inventory slow, inventory slow, inventory slow. So this chart just demonstrates nationwide, but locally, we're even down from that. And the reason is Central Florida is a place where when anything happens around the world, people come to Central Florida, so we're getting affected more than anybody else in the nation. The next slide is home prices, annual appreciation. This graph shows that we're actually at a pretty good shape for sellers, as we've been telling you also on our weekly show. If you see this graph, it shows that in 2006 through 2011, we had home appreciation negative, so we were losing values. That's when the bubble, in the market. And then we recover around 2013, you can see at 11.5%, which is not normal, by the way. The normal appreciation for the economy to be stable, it needs to stay around 4% appreciation a year, appreciation, yes. Right now we are at 9.0, meaning that the prices are getting pretty high out there. The appreciation is going to the roof. So that has to come down in order to the economy to be okay. So what we can tell, or we can maybe see in the future, is the Fed and the government trying to do something to keep that down, because we cannot keep it at so high. But right now it's at 9.0, so for those sellers that thinking of selling right now, this is the time, because you're gonna get a lot of money for your house. You're gonna appreciate a lot. Also for people buying new homes, the home is gonna get a lot of equity very quick because of that. But then it's gonna slow down once it comes down back to 4%. The next slide talks about mortgage rates. As you can see on this graph, annually in 1980, you know how much the interest rate was according to this graph? 16.63%. That was the rate to buy a new home. That, my friends, is super high. And as you can see, it's been declining. And right now we are at an average nationwide of 3.11%. In Central Florida, it's about 2.82, so we're even at a lower rate compared to nationwide. Home prices, according to this graph, as you can see, we're at an average of $317,000 in an average home price for the United States. And as you can see, that's been going up since 1989. In 2006, 2007, it got to the highest Then we have the bubble in 2009, 2010, it went down a little bit, and then it spiked up, and now again we're at 317,000. So this graph shows you that no matter what, real estate keeps going up, regardless of what happens out there, like for pandemic, COVID, or anything like that. Distressed sales on this graph, it shows that we're very, very low. So if you look at on the left of this graph, it says in 2008, 2009, 2010, as you can see, foreclosures were at 24%. That means 1/4 of all homes in the United States were in foreclosure. 1/4, that's a lot. Fortunately, COVID, we're not experiencing that. So as you can tell on the graph, if you move all the way to the right where it says December 2020, we're at less than 1% on foreclosures. That's good news. That means people have been able to keep their homes. We're not going through that. So thank God, that's really good news for everyone. This graph right here is the last one. Gary Keller tells us from Keller Williams that the annual forecast, how everything is they think is gonna look as far as real estate. They think that the home sales are gonna grow at a pace of 4.6% moving forward. Again, remember, we need to keep it at around 4% in order for the economy to be stable. The median price is gonna go up on 7%. That's what they're forecasting. And the monthly supply of inventory, this is very important, it's only they're forecasting only a 0.2 months to be added. 0.2, not even one month. So again, inventory they're forecasting is just gonna continue to decline. That's a problem because then new builders can't keep up with with everybody moving in here into Central Florida and the States and whatever. And that's it. So hopefully you find this valuable. If you have any questions, feel free to call or text us or email us of the video, and we'll be more than happy to go over all this data. All right, well, thank you all for watching this, and see you later. Bye.